Are you a ruler, an accumulator, a maverick, an alchemist, a nurturer, a connector, a romantic, or a celebrity? Believe it or not, we all have distinct money personalities that drive all our feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and actions when it comes to money. Hi, I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Collective. I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, build the life of your dreams. If that is what you are here for, like, subscribe, review, and buckle up because we are jumping right into training 2 of the Unlock and Step into Your Money Genius with the Power of Sacred Money Archetypes. This is the second training. So if you haven't caught the first one, you might want to watch that one. That is about the Sacred Money Archetypes, an overview of how to read your results once you've done the quiz, the free quiz, and how to tap into the essence, the strengths, and the gifts of your top 3 money archetypes. So if you've done the quiz, you've consumed video 1, fantastic. If you haven't, you can take the free quiz at themoneybosscollective.co and then watch the first video and then tune right into video 2, where we are diving into the challenges of each of the sacred money archetypes that we'll review here and the shadow sides. And don't we all know, we all have our baggage when it comes to money. We spend too much, we save, we don't want to spend. There are 8 sacred money archetypes, and with uncannily accurate, it will share with you your top money sabotages for your top 3 money archetypes. If you've done the quiz, you would have got an email giving you the score for your top 3 archetypes. In video number 1, we would have walked through how to number 1, 2, 3, your top 3, and then how to break any ties. So for this video, we're going to talk about each of the sacred money archetypes, the 8 personalities, and the biggest sabotage of each of the archetypes. And while our money essence, strengths, and gifts are beautiful and brilliant, and that's how we can lean into our strength and make more money and help build financial security, help prevent financial struggles within ourselves and our relationships. But on the other side, the sabotages is where it all happens, right? We're either blowing all our money, we are wasting our money, we can save too much and not invest. And there's some archetypes that just don't care about money. And that's dangerous in itself, making that individual definitely at risk of being taken advantage by others. So let's dive in. There are 8 sacred money archetypes. Each are brilliant, perfect in their strengths and in their weaknesses. I truly do believe we are each divinely made. Personally, money aside, we are each perfectly made how we are, with strengths and challenges to set us up for the journey that we're meant to walk, to unlock our gifts so that we could start bringing it and expressing it to the world for the benefit of ourselves, our families, our communities, or even the world if we're building businesses and putting ourselves out there. So the 8 sacred money archetypes: the ruler, the accumulator, the maverick, the alchemist, the nurturer, the connector, the romantic, and the celebrity. So let's dive in. The ruler, as we know, is the inner empire builder. They have incredible drive and determination to make money and build their empire for the benefit of themselves, but also for others. They are here to illuminate the desire to achieve. But as we know, if you are incredibly driven and you have such a drive, desire, obsession to make money, let's flip to the shadow side. What do you guys think that is? There is an unhealthy pros and cons on each trait. We'll focus on the shadow side here. The ruler is so concerned about building their empire that they will often do it at the risk of relationships, spending time with the ones they love, because they are such on a mission. They are driven to achieve. They have that ambition that I'm not going to stop till it gets done. It is such a single-minded focus on building their success that very often they get frustrated when people want them to do fun stuff. They're here to build their empire. Who has time to go to the beach? Who has time for another family party? It is frustrating for the ruler to have to take their focus off building their empire. So what are the sabotages? As you can imagine, enough is never enough. The ruler is often feeling like they are chasing a moving target. They'll reach one goal, and without even celebrating, they're on to the next. Enough is never enough. So as soon as they reach this goal that they've always wanted, it's no longer good enough. It's done, and we're moving on. They're the achiever, right? Which leaves them feeling unsatisfied no matter how much they have done or what they have built. Another dark side, sabotage, is relationships. Because they are so willing to put their nose to the ground and get it done, they are the first to say, the beach, the restaurant, movies, parties, I'm busy. I am on a mission here, don't you know? Who has time for fun stuff? That is the downside of the ruler. And working towards our contract and fulfilling our destiny, we will cover that in the third and final video, how we can begin to tap into our sacred money contract and how to create boundaries and do the work. We'll chat about that in video 3. The ruler really needs to manage the self-sabotage, money sabotage of being so focused and potentially sacrificing relationships and their own happiness and really burning out because they got to go. They got to achieve. Enough is never enough. So that is the ruler, the inner empire builder with a relentless drive to build their empire. Next on the list is the accumulator. As we know, that is the inner banker. They have an incredible gift, desire, need to stay within their means. They like to stash cash. They're not often the one to get in debt. And if they are, they're very uncomfortable because they're a natural born saver and their greatest desire is to accumulate money. And whether that's in a bank account or whether it's stashed in socks in the sock drawer or tin cans in the backyard, they probably have money in several spots in the house because it is their greatest desire to accumulate, the inner banker. Now let's flip to the self-sabotage, the money sabotage. Well, having the skill to save money in today's day and age is amazing because there is nonstop advertising, desires, needs, and the world is very expensive. So the desire to have a budget, live within means, realize how important it is to have savings, this is incredibly important and something to be proud of. But here is where the accumulator can sabotage their dark side. They don't want to spend money. They will work, 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 stash, 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 and never feel like they have enough. There is often a fear-based insecurity that the rainy day is coming and they need to save money. And they can never quite enjoy the money they have because they feel they need it saved in case that rainy day comes. So the accumulator, while they're brilliant at stashing cash, Their greatest fear is that their money is going to run out and they're going to have to rely on somebody else for their financial success to live. That is their greatest fear. So they stash, and then the sabotage comes when they can't enjoy themselves, the hard-earned money. They work really hard, whether it's a job or business. They can't enjoy it. But here's the thing. When it comes to investing in themselves or their business to make more money, they are very hard to do that. They're wise when it comes to reviewing opportunities, but they're also very tight-fisted when it comes to their money. Like, oh, that $2,000 course is, I don't know. Nope, that's going to cut out my money. And what happens if the car breaks down or I lose my job? They have a huge fear of parting with their money and being at risk. So when it looks like they have an opportunity that can help them make more money, not only do they not want to part with the money, but they also want to see the tangible dollars and cents that this course is going to return to them. When sometimes they can just use their very careful analytical mind to review an opportunity and take the jump, knowing that they are smart, knowing that they've reviewed it. They need to take the jump to invest in themselves or their business to make more money. Accumulators, you got to spend money to make money. And guess what? Wouldn't it be amazing if you invest in yourself to have greater skills and confidence, or your business or a technology to make more money? And guess what? You can stash more cash. Accumulator, the inner banker. The Maverick, as we know from video number 1, the Maverick is the inner rebel with a cause. They are here to take risks. They're here to do big things. They don't want the status quo. They don't like boring, to be honest, and they don't like being told no. They are going to do things their way, and they are very comfortable with risks. As I mentioned in the previous video, they are the risk taker, the Maverick, the inner gambler, the inner risk taker. I often see them as the individual in the casino with the dice in their hand, ready to gamble it all. And that is one of the strengths of the Maverick, because they are very courageous, very comfortable taking risks that most of the other archetypes are not. They are very comfortable handling complex transactions, business deals, something that's risky and would send an accumulator or other archetypes running. The Maverick is the inner rebel, the gambler. But on the flip side, as we are talking about the dark side, the sabotages, the Maverick loves the thrill, loves the risk, loves a big payday, loves risk, which you can take big risks and have big rewards, but big risks can also go bad. So very often, this is the individual that's on a roller coaster. They make big money from this deal, then they lose it all. They make big money, they lose it all. You get what I mean? They're so comfortable with risk, they're too comfortable sometimes, and they will often jeopardize their financial security for the next big deal, the next big win, where the Maverick really needs to, in their contract that we'll talk about in video 3, is step into a happy medium of risk and financial security. So the Maverick, the inner rebel that loves risk, that just hates doing the same old boring thing. And another sabotage of the Maverick, because they love new and exciting, they may have a successful business, but they quite often want to burn it to the ground and start something new because they want the thrill, right? So the inner rebel with a cause are dear Mavericks. Moving to the Alchemist, we know them as the inner idealists. They are very idealistic, full of great ideas, and they are the cause maker. They're the individual out there trying to change the world. They are not happy with the status quo. Oh, that's just the way the world is. People suffer, people are rich. You just got to accept that. That is just a mortal sin to the alchemists because they are here to take care of the underdog and provide equality for everybody. So here is the thing. The alchemist, two big sabotages. Out of all the archetypes, they have the biggest love-hate with money. They know the power that money has because they clearly watch the media and all the big corporations and see all the greedy, bad things that corporations are doing with their money. When meanwhile, they could be feeding and clothing and giving water to people around the world. But they would say they're just lining their pocket. They know the power of money, but they also hate money because they know the power that money has when used poorly, in their opinion. So the alchemists, they have such an incredible love-hate relationship, the most complex of all the archetypes, that for them it is very hard to consistently attract and want money because they think they're going to turn into one of those big bad rich people. When we'll work on the money contract and the action items in video 3, they need to realize that money is an amplifier. It just makes you more of who you are. So if you're a good person with money, you'll be a rich person that's a good person with money. If you're a poor person with money, if you're poor and you're a bad person and you are a bad person and you get more money, you're just going to be a bad person with a lot of money. So the alchemist needs to work on the sabotage of their incredible love-hate with money. We'll go into that in more detail. The second sabotage of that is they have so many incredible ideas when it comes to business, more than probably most of the other archetypes, but they refuse to ever action one of them. Is that a sabotage? Probably, because if they focused on one and created a business and created money, would they be that big, bad, rich person? The work is in the Sacred Money Contract. Video number 3, Alchemist, I gotcha. So the alchemist, the inner idealist, the cause maker, the justice seeker for everyone. The nurturer, our big-hearted, caring nurturer givers. We love them. Everybody loves them, and especially the individuals that come on hard times and need some money. The nurturers are known as an easy target because of their soft heart, their desire to take care of people, and their willingness to give. The beauty of them is they'll give and give. They'll give money. They'll give the shirt off their back, and often, shadow side, to the detriment of their own financial security. And nurturers have been known to even take out debt to help other people get out of debt, putting themselves at risk for somebody who probably needs to do their own money work. But the nurturer doesn't see it that way. They need to be needed. They want to help. They're here to take care of others. Sabotage number 1, they give and put themselves at risk financially. But the second part is, although they have such a giving nature and they are good with their own money if they don't have to give it to others, their second sabotage is they give and they give and they don't have money boundaries, and they often end up resenting people because people don't appreciate them. People don't appreciate how much they do for them, and often people won't even pay them back, causing a lot of inner resentment due to their lack of boundaries and saying no. And the work for the nurture is brilliant. I've got you too. So stay tuned to video number 3, where we dive into your sacred money contract nurtures to help you help others while helping yourself. The connector. As we know from the first video, the connector is all about relationships. They are usually the one at the event, connecting people, making sure that this person's not on their own, that everybody is introduced to each other. You probably know a person like this. They're usually the one saying, I know a guy. Or I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that can help you. That is the connector. They are all about relationships and helping other people connect, feel welcomed, and even they help others create great business deals by the connections that they form with others. Now, the shadow side of the connector is out of all the sacred money archetypes, they are the personality that cares least about money. When it comes to money, they can be money what? And they really just don't care. They're all about creating relationships, connecting people. And when it comes to money, they have a beautiful, faithful, and optimistic view on money. And somehow their bills usually just do get paid for them, and money comes in, and they're always okay. And they're confident that things will always work out. But the shadow side, as you can imagine, is a few things. One, they don't care about money, so they're not focused on it, and they tend to not take care of it. And that means budgeting, that means saving, all of the financial management tools that make you financially successful, they tend to not really care. They'd be happy if somebody just takes care of it for them, which I mean is great, but here is the shadow side. One, their finances can be a mess if somebody's not taking care of it for them. And two, if somebody's taking care of their finances for them and not doing a good job, they can put the connector at financial risk as well. Here's the other thing. The connector, by leaning on others to take care of their money, they are one of the archetypes that are most at risk of being taken advantage of because they're just not paying attention. They really just don't care about money. So the connector, as we will explore in video 3, they have a sacred money archetype contract of caring about relationships, but focusing on their financial security. So that is the connector and their shadow side. On to the romantics, the pleasure-seeking, fun-loving individual that likes the finest dining, finest experiences. They are amazing to be around. They are just a great friend or family member to have because if you're out eating, they'll often want to pay for it all too because they just want to provide great experiences for themselves and the ones they love. The shadow side, as we can imagine, is the romantic doesn't want to be told no. They just want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And if anybody says no, they almost have the inner mantra of, I deserve this. So they're going to do what they want when they want to. And here is their shadow side incoming. They're going to do what they want, regardless of what their bank account says or the credit card statement. So the romantic is very focused on creating pleasurable experiences, memorable occasions. We all know those romantics. But at the end of the month, when they look at the bank account or look at the credit card statement, they often go from the highs of amazing events, the after thrill, the feeling good, dipping into the lows of guilt and shame for overspending. Again, if they don't have a massively big bank account. And the plus side, again, the romantic is actually incredibly good at attracting money and money comes to them, but they often just don't have an eye on what their bank account can support when it comes to the things they want to do. So that is the dark side, shadow side, sabotage of the romantic. The celebrity, the limelight lover, the star of the show, they like to be in the spotlight. And as we know from video one, they love being portrayed as successful, as rich, as the person that also knows the person. They want to be seen at the big events and posting it on social media. They want the best of everything: the clothing, the handbags, the shoes, the vehicles, brand name, best of everything to portray success. Here is the downside, the dark side. The celebrity often, their status and image in the public very often doesn't match behind closed doors. When they are in the privacy of their home, looking at their bank account or the credit card statement, their celebrity image doesn't necessarily match the bank account. And same with the romantic and the celebrity. If they don't have somebody bankrolling their luxurious lifestyle, they'll be left with an empty bank account and credit cards at the end of the month and living the highs and the Gucci bag high for the celebrity, the guilt and remorse after, and then the double guilt and remorse when we get the credit card statement. So that is the dark side for all of the 8 sacred money archetypes. Here's the thing, guys. No guilt, no shame. The beautiful part about the sacred money archetypes is awareness. Know thyself. And everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses. And in that, each trait is a strength and a weakness if you go too far in either end. The ability to spend healthy in the middle is healthy. You don't spend enough, like the accumulator, that's unhealthy. You spend too much, like the romantics and the celebrities, no picking on anybody here. That is not the point. Any level of extremities over here, if you spend too much or not enough, neither of those are healthy. In the middle, finding health and balance between overspending and underspending, spending what you can afford to spend. And that is the beauty with the sacred money archetypes. There's no shame, there's no guilt. And really, truly, the reason I do this work and why I just fell in love with the sacred money archetypes is know thyself, that deep inner knowing. When you take the quiz and then you sit down and you look and you go, oh, yeah, this makes sense. Or maybe if you're just really getting to know your money patterns, if you are younger, or maybe you have a blind spot. Maybe it might be reaffirming, or maybe it's a bit of salt in the wound when we're looking at our sacred money archetypes and going, oh, that is me. I feel guilt and shame. No, don't do this. The beauty is to take the quiz, to learn your archetypes, to dive in, and then go, okay, what are my strengths? How can I lean into that? How could I align those strengths with different businesses that naturally suit who I am? Okay, what are my weaknesses? I underspend, I overspend, I don't care about money. Here's the thing. In life, as I've said various times, we're walking the journey of life, doing our thing, raising families, just getting through life. At the same time that we're doing our life, we're also having a money journey. And money is incredibly important to providing us with the opportunities, possibilities, to getting us out of struggle. And once we get out of struggle, we can begin to self-actualize. When we get out of overspending or underspending and align our strengths with business ideas, when we manage our weakness and get financially healthy, we get to a point where we're a money boss, where we go, I got my finances. I don't need somebody taking care of this. I got this. I'm a money boss. And when you're a money boss and you get yourself where you're at least not overspending and you start to save, and then you create a savings and then you start investing, and then you're financially strong. You're a money boss. That is the goal of my platform. No, let's go a little deep here. Don't we know how much stress money causes within ourselves when we overspend, when we don't want to spend? We do that purchase yet again because we needed it. We go home, we live the thrill, and then we have the lows of oh, I shouldn't have spent that. And then, even worse, guys, gals, if we're in a relationship and we share finances or we need to be accountable to somebody else, do you know how many people I know have been divorced because of money? Most of them don't realize it, but that's why we fight, right? If you don't have enough in your relationship, it adds incredible stress. Stress and resentment will definitely fracture a relationship. If it goes on long enough, well, what happens? Divorce can happen, right? So if we're in a relationship and we have a tendency to overspend and we're getting guilt and shame from our partners, right? Like my whole goal in life and what I want for every woman and man is to be a boss, to say, I got this. Like I'm taking care of my money and there's no guilt or shame or controlling from somebody outside of themselves. Again, I guess that could be the ruler, accumulator, maverick in me. The connector, they'd be like, who cares if somebody takes care of your money? No guilt, shame. I just want everybody to be financially powerful because when we have enough money, when we're a money boss, it really starts to remove the burdens and stress of money so that we can start to enjoy our relationships, enjoy life, get out of survival, and then go up the rungs of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where we get out of struggle into the next level. Who wants to be in survival all the time? Let's become a money boss, control our money, start saving, get out of survival, and start going up the ladder of becoming powerful, financially powerful, a money boss, right? I digress, but not because that is the whole goal of my platform and this work and why I love the Sacred Money Archetypes. I want every woman to step into their personal power, make more money, and build the life of their dreams. And same for men. Money is the great equalizer. If somebody wants to be a feminist, the best way to be a strong and powerful woman is to get money. Women and men, it doesn't matter. There's so much talk about the female and the underdog. Look at the whole world. There are so many women just knocking it out of the park. Why? Because they stepped into their personal power. They said, I'm going to be in charge of my life. I'm going to take control of my money. I'm going to do this. And whether you are female, male, it doesn't matter. Money is there as a tool as we walk our journey as a person. Money is there to help us to grow, to survive, to thrive, to build memories, to provide experiences. That is the goal of money. And it starts with ourselves, tapping into ourself here at the center of the money creation wheel, reality creation. How do we feel about money? And that stems from who we are and our internal wiring, known as our sacred money archetypes. It stems from the way we were brought up. But really, I think who we are born as is a bit of an override. And of course, we can override any upbringing by replacing our thoughts and beliefs about money with facts. And then when we get new information, sacred money archetypes, the fact that no matter who you are, what you've done, what your bank account looks like, you can be a money boss That's new thoughts and beliefs. From there, you have a new feeling. And then you go through the Money Codes course that we're sharing at the end of this video and the next video that I've just unveiled. You go through the course and you start to learn your archetypes. Then you start to learn your strengths, your weaknesses, your empowering mindsets. You start to learn what your destiny is, your strengths, your gifts, and how to create alignment based on who you are, based on the Sacred Money Archetype. We provide sacred money alignment activities, big goals for you to become financially free. How do you do that? As a ruler, as an accumulator, as a maverick, as an alchemist, a nurturer, a connector, a romantic, celebrity. Each archetype has different wirings when it comes to money. So you can't just say save. We all need to save. But how we position it for each of the archetypes is completely different. And in video 3, I'll talk about the Money Codes course and the different activities in there, and mainly the last module where we start to pick sacred money alignment activities, big goals based on your primary archetype, so that you can connect with your flow, connect with your archetype, step into your money genius, and start to create financial freedom so you can create your dream life. That's what I'm here for, to help everybody do it. I've walked this journey for most of my life, but I've built media companies for the last 17 years. And while you're building a business, you're learning about money. And man, have I walked that life journey and the business journey alongside my money journey. And that's why I'm so excited to become a money boss myself, so I can build this platform and help you become a money boss. That is what I'm here for. So I hope you enjoyed. Well, when we're talking about our shadow side, who enjoys it? But to me, even if it's the bad stuff about our personality, air quotes, bad stuff, it's not bad stuff. It's all facts. It's all information. We don't need to get emotional about it. We just go, oh, our archetype spends too much. Hey, why don't we get a budget in place? Oh, my archetype doesn't spend enough. Maybe I need to consider spending to grow. No emotion. Tune into just strategy and alignment, and then step into your money genius and build the life of your dreams. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was eye-opening. Take it in, sit with your strengths and gifts from video number 1. Mark it down in your workbook. In this video, go through and make notes on your dark side, your sabotages, anything that came up while you watch this video, fill it out on page 2. And then in video 3, we are going to come back and talk about the alignment and how the archetypes each have a sacred money contract to help center them and get them on the path to creating financial freedom that is right for them. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in video 3. Bye-bye.